With home court advantage here in Ben Light Gymnasium, the Bombers will look to take a trip to the Sweet 16, a feat not accomplished since 2003. Even without Kendall Marshall, UNC is still a very potent offense, still a very potent team. They may not win the whole thing, they may get bumped before the Final Four, but I don't see Ohio doing anything significant to damage those chances.
We're here, and of course we have the Stevens fans. Now we got a 2-point deficit going. When you get this fan section riled up.
This week's Athlete of the Week, Kelsey King, sophomore forward for the Ithaca women's soccer team. The Bombers, on the other hand, are very defensive-minded. They have at least 12 shutouts this season. Ithaca will host the New York State Division III Women's Tennis Championship.
Dumont, the star of the Harbor Hawks, clearly has the most points with 19, but she has 3 fouls. She's exhausted. She's playing most of the game. You see, she is burnt. She is red.
Utica scores a lot. Two of their last 3 games, they've scored 40 or more points, and they just have a lot of strong offensive players. Palladino has 13 goals already. They still have the whole postseason. I don't see the Bombers coming out, leaving early in this postseason. The Cornell Big Red women's ice hockey team will start this season off with a chip on their collective shoulders after last season's early exit from the NCAA tournament due to an overtime thriller loss against Mercyhurst in the first round. This ended an otherwise strong season on a particularly sour note. This loss came after the Big Red beat Harvard in the championship game of the ECAC tournament. In the regular season, the Big Red won 27 games during a 2012-2013 season, while only dropping 6 games and tying 1 more. The team will have to rely on the leadership of 4 seniors, all who have played and made meaningful contributions since they've been in action on the ice for the Big Red. Goalkeeper Lauren Slobodnik has 5 shutouts last season and is the second winningest athlete for Cornell sports, with 51 wins. The team will need Lauren to keep them in the game and be on dominant force between the posts, but she will also have her 2 experienced senior defenders back with her on the ice this season. Senior defenders Haley Cudmore and Alyssa Gagliardi will be on the ice doing everything they can to make sure Lauren has to do little more than stand in the goal. Alyssa can block shots better than anyone on her team and was invited to the U.S. Women's National Team's training camp in March. Haley, while by position as a defender, has become a lead scorer for the Big Red and will be asked to work all sides of the ice every minute she is out there. Haley will have to help out the lone senior forward on the team, Jessica Campbell, and get the puck in the net and keep the wins coming. While Jessica is known for her clutch scoring in pivotal games last season, the forward core for the Big Red is noticeably young, and with a lack of experience, they will be asked to grow up quick on the ice. With any luck, see themselves back in the NCAA tournament to prove they have what it takes to be an elite force in women's ice hockey. For Big Red Faceoff, I'm Nick McGahan. The Bombers are going back to the big dance, but how did they get there? The women's basketball team finished their season off with an impressive record of 23-4. They were the number 1 seed, hosting the Empire 8 tournament, knocking off St. John Fisher and Hartwick, the only conference loss on the Bombers' schedule this season. The team's future looked bright with returning sophomore Jen Escobedo and junior Devin Shea. The team has decided to downplay the pressure of re-entering the NCAA playoffs.
I'm not really feeling any pressure at all. I'm just going into it as another game, just face it as another opponent, just have to work my best.
I mean, we don't really think about that right now. We're 0-0. This is the first game of the new season. We don't know anything about these teams that we're going to face, and it's just kind of how we started at the beginning of the season.
Senior Jess Farley is one of the few players with NCAA tournament experience, and she has become a leader on this team.
I just told the girls not to go in overconfident, just to continue to play our game. Because the last time we were in the NCAA tournament, we pretty much overlooked DeSales, and we're like, oh, from the scouting, they don't look that good. So I just told the girls, just remember to play our game, stay calm, don't get caught up in the hype of the tournament with the crowd and the cameras and all that.
It'll be exciting, especially based off my freshman year. We hosted, but we did lose, so it's just kind of like it'd be great to play on Saturday.
Recalling the previous tournament loss to DeSales, Farley seemed eager to prove herself this time around.
It motivates me very highly, I guess. I just, especially my senior year, I think that's motivation enough. I really want to end the season on a win.
With home court advantage here in Ben Light Gymnasium, the Bombers will look to take a trip to the Sweet 16, a feat not accomplished since 2003. For Bombers Live, Nick McGahan. Every team strives for perfection in sport, yet few attain it once a season gets rolling. The Ithaca women's tennis team is now 9-0, having recently won a doubleheader against St. John Fisher and Wells College, winning both meets 9-0. This is the 5th time Ithaca has blanked an opponent this season. No one is prouder than head coach Bill Austin.
Well, you know, we're everybody's big match. We've done well in the league for a number of years, and you know, I tell the kids we've got to be ready because they're going to be ready for us, and so we can't take anybody lightly, and we try to play as hard as we can against all levels of opposition.
The Ithaca women have just come off a 5-game road series, and Coach Austin values the time for home games and the benefits on and off the field for his team.
We have been on the road, and it'll be nice. It'll be good for the kids' classwork. It'll just be good. We are a little road weary, and we're looking forward to playing some matches here on our home turf.
Ithaca will host the New York State Division III Women's Tennis Championship. They'll be played right here, October 12th to the 14th at the Wheeler Tennis Courts. They will strive to keep their perfect season, but more importantly, try to play for that national championship. In Ithaca, Nick McGahan, ICTV Sports. To the other women's championship team we go. The Big Red were away at Clarkson for the ECAC Championships. Win and book a trip back to Lynott to host a big dance. First up was rival Harvard. The rivalry rematch was on neutral ice with a score fest. Sonia and Fulton both netted 2 goals against Harvard, and senior goaltender Slobodnik had 19 saves. While both teams could find the net, Cornell eventually took the lead and held onto it. To seal the deal, they had a next go up against the host school Clarkson, the one seed who shut out Quinnipiac from previous matchup. How would the Big Red fare? They dished out a taste of Clarkson's own medicine and were able to shut out the Golden Knights with a lone goal from Powdry. Slobodnik saved 26 attempts on goal to keep her team victorious.
What is your plan to take on the Bombers in the championship?
Take on the Bombers. We got to come to play D again. I thought we did a really good job of doing our game plan, making them take shots they didn't want, and us grinding out in the half-court D, and that's going to be our game plan moving forward tomorrow, as well as playing team offense, sharing the ball, making each other better.
Allison has been the key to most of Cornell's offensive points. She recently named the American All-District First Team, only one of 2 Ivy League players to make that team. And if she's not doing good, the team's not doing good. The Bombers took their first game of the quest into the NCAA to Sage and ravaged them, more than doubling their opponent's score. Tierney and Campbell both had scores of double-digit margins, but it was a team play that pushed them to victory, where Sage's Bauman and Pierce had 2/3 of the entire score. The Bombers baseball team took to the diamond and had a full slate of games against the Houghton College Highlanders. Starting around the .500 record after the trip to California, how would they fare? Game 1 saw the Bombers destroy the Highlanders with the final score of 7-1. Brian Hodge got the lone run, and the Bombers starting pitcher John Pendergast had no runs on his time on the mound. John Stanley had 2 runs, and the Bombers were 6-4. To the baseball diamond we go. It's the Bombers and the Ducks. Doubleheader at Stevens, so let's take a look at Game 1. The Bombers shut out Stevens with 5 runs. Tim Henry racked up 2 wins, while Colby G amassed all sorts of stats, including a run batted in and a run himself.
And then how do you expect to keep them out of the line, because they're quite the free throw shooting team?
They are. Stay down, play good, help defense, be in position, not pick up those fouls, take charges. I think we did a good job of that in the first half. We've got to continue to improve at that in the second.
Awesome. Thank you. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys in the booth.